I don't believe in serendipity. I believe in logistics. My name is Harper. I am 24 years old, and I am a junior project manager for a supply chain firm in Boston. My life is a series of spreadsheets, color-coded calendars, and risk assessments. I know exactly how long it takes to get from my apartment to the subway. 7 minutes at a brisk walk. I know exactly how much money I need to save each month to retire at 55, and I know that vacation romances have a success rate of approximately 0%. They are statistical anomalies, outliers. They are the emotional equivalent of buying a lottery ticket. Fun for a second, but you're mostly just paying for the disappointment. So, when I landed in Tamarindo, Costa Rica, for a week-long bachelorette trip for my college roommate, Jessica, I had no intention of falling in love. I had an itinerary. I had packed 3 types of sunscreen, SPF 30-50 and ghostly pale. I had a plan to minimize hangovers and maximize relaxation efficiency. The plan did not account for the humidity, which immediately turned my carefully straightened hair into a sentient frizz. Beast. It also did not account for Caleb. We met at the hostel bar. Yes, we were staying at a hostel, a boutique one, which is code for expensive, but you still have to share a bathroom. Jessica and the other bridesmaids, let's call them the Glitter Squad, were already 3 margaritas deep and dancing on a table to Bad Bunny. I was sitting in the corner, nursing a sparkling water, answering work emails on my phone, because the Wi-Fi signal was surprisingly robust near the blender. You know. A voice drawled from the other side of the bar. It's technically illegal to check spreadsheets within 50 feet of the ocean. I looked up. The guy was a cliché. A walking, talking, sun-bleached cliché. He had messy blonde hair, a tan that suggested he lived outside, and he was wearing a tank top that showed off arms clearly sculpted by paddling surfboards. He was wiping down the counter with a rag. I'm not checking spreadsheets. I lied, locking my phone. I'm checking the weather. It's Costa Rica, he said, grinning. It was a lopsided grin, disarmingly boyish. It's going to be hot, then it's going to rain for 20 minutes, then it's going to be hot again. There, I just saved you the data roaming charges. I'm Harper, I said, defensive, and I like to be prepared. I'm Caleb, he replied, and I like to be unprepared. It makes life more interesting. It makes life chaotic, I countered. Chaos is inefficient. Efficiency is boring, he shot back. He slid a drink toward me. It was bright pink and had a slice of pineapple on the rim. On the house, it's a guaro sore. It might help you unclench your jaw. I glared at him. I touched my jaw. It was clenched. I do not need to unclench. You're typing with your thumbs so hard. I thought the screen was going to crack. Caleb laughed. Drink the drink, Harper. Your friends are currently trying to start a conga line. You're going to need the liquid courage. I looked at Jessica, who was indeed grabbing the waist of a terrified German backpacker. I sighed. I took the drink. It was sweet, sour, and dangerous. Fine, I said, but I'm not tipping you for your unsolicited life coaching. That's okay. Caleb winked. I'm off the clock in 10 minutes. You can tip me by telling me what exactly is so important that it can't wait until you're back in. Let me guess, New York. Boston. I corrected. And it's a supply chain issue with a shipment of ergonomic chairs. Riveting, he said deadpan. Truly, the stuff of thrillers. I should have walked away. That was the logical move. Go back to the room, put on a noise-canceling headset, and sleep. But I didn't. I stayed. I watched him close out the register. I watched the way he joked with the other bartender in rapid-fire Spanish. I noticed that despite the surfer, bro exterior, his eyes were sharp, observant. When he clocked out, he came around to my side of the bar. He smelled like salt water and lime. "I'm going to get tacos," he said. "Best tacos in town. They are sold out of the back of a truck by a grandmother who doesn't speak English and hates everyone. Want to come? I have a dinner reservation with the girls at 8:00 p.m. I checked my watch. It was 6:15 p.m. You have an hour and 45 minutes. Caleb calculated. That's plenty of time for tacos and an argument about the merits of efficiency versus chaos. I hesitated. My brain screamed, stranger danger. My brain screamed variables. "Okay," I said. "But if I get food poisoning and miss the reservation, I will leave you a 1-star review on Yelp." "Fair," he said. "Let's go." The tacos were, infuriatingly, the best thing I had ever eaten. We sat on a concrete curb near the beach, balancing paper plates on our knees. The sun was setting, painting the sky in violent shades of purple and orange. It was disgustingly romantic. I tried to ignore it. "So," I said, wiping salsa off my lip. "What's the plan, Caleb? You surf all day, bartend at night, and live the pura vida dream until you're 30 and have melanoma." He laughed, taking a bite of his fish taco. "Wow. You really go for the jugular, don't you?" "I'm a realist," I said. "This lifestyle, it has an expiration date." "I'm 25, he said. "And I'm not just a bartender. I'm a grad student. I'm finishing my master's in marine biology. I'm here doing field research on the coral reef systems off the coast. Bartending just pays for the beers and the surfboard wax." I paused. My assessment model had just thrown an error. "Oh, you're a scientist." "I study data too, Harper." He smiled, looking at me sideways. "I just prefer my data to be wet and living, rather than ergonomic chairs." "Okay," I conceded. "That's respectable. Why didn't you lead with that?" "Because people usually find the dumb surfer act more charming on vacation. It lowers expectations." "I hate low expectations," I said. "I noticed," he said softly. "You hold yourself very tightly, Harper. Like you're afraid if you relax, you'll fall apart." "I don't fall apart," I snap. "I hold things together. That's my job. If I relax, things get missed. Deadlines get missed. People get disappointed." Caleb crumpled his paper plate. He turned his body toward me. The playfulness was gone. "Who disappointed you? Was it a guy, or parents?" "My dad was a gambler," I said. The words tumbled out before I could check them. I never talked about this. Not on first dates, and definitely not with guys wearing flip-flops. He played with money we didn't have. He believed in luck. He believed the big win was always around the corner. We lost the house when I was 12. So, no, Caleb. I don't believe in luck. I believe in what I can control. Silence stretched between us. The ocean roared in the background. I waited for him to give me a pity look, or to change the subject. "That makes sense," he said simply. He didn't try to fix it. He didn't say that's so sad. He just validated the logic. If the variable of dad was unstable, you had to become the constant. Newton's third law, emotional addition. I looked at him, startled. "Exactly." "Well." Caleb stood up and brushed the sand off his shorts. I can't promise you control, Harper, but I can promise you that the tide is coming in at 700 a.m. tomorrow, and the waves will be glassy. Come surfing with me. I don't surf, I said. Sharks. Rocks. Drowning. The probability of injury is high. I'll be there, he said. I'm a trained lifeguard, and I have excellent data on the shark population in this bay. It's statistically 0. He held out a hand to pull me up. I took it. His palm was rough, calloused. It felt solid. 700 am, I said. But if you're late, I'm leaving. I'm never late for the tide, he said. We spent the next 5 days together. I abandoned the itinerary. I skipped the zip line adventure to sit on Caleb's porch and drink bad coffee while he categorized water samples. We argued about everything. We argued about music. He liked reggae. I liked podcasts. We argued about the best way to load a dishwasher. He was chaotic evil. I was lawful good. But we also fit. It was weird. He was the kite, and I was the string. He pulled me up, and I kept him from flying away into the clouds. On the last night, we lay in a hammock outside his rental bungalow. The mosquitoes were biting, but I didn't care. His arm was around me, heavy and warm. So, he said, you leave tomorrow. 1100 a.m. flight. I confirmed. Back to Boston. And I'm here for another 3 months until my thesis is done, he said. Then I head back to San Diego. Right, I said. The knot in my stomach was tight. This was the part where the vacation ended. This was the part where the illusion shattered. We could keep talking, Caleb said. He sounded unsure for the first time. Exchange numbers. See what happens. My brain kicked into overdrive. Boston to San Diego. 3,000 miles. 3 time zones. Different careers. He was a field researcher. I was corporate. Caleb, I said, sitting up. Let's be real. This I gestured between us, is a vacation bubble. It's easy to like each other when we're tanned and drinking rum, and the biggest problem is sand in the sheets. But in the real world, I'm stressed. I work 60 hours a week. I'm not the chill girl you met on the beach. I know you're not chill, he laughed dryly. Harper, you color-coded your packing cubes. I know exactly who you are. I like the unchill version. She's smart. It's not logical. I insisted, my voice trembling slightly. Long distance has a failure rate of... Stop with the stats. He interrupted gently. He reached up and touched my cheek. Just stop calculating for 1 second. Do you like me? Yes or no? Binary choice. I looked at him. I looked at the way the moonlight hit his jaw. I thought about how he remembered how I took my coffee, black, 2 ice cubes so I can drink it immediately. Yes, I whispered. I like you. Then we act on that data, he said. We don't promise forever. We just promise to pick up the phone. Okay, I said. We pick up the phone. The withdrawal was physical. Returning to Boston in February is depressing under the best circumstances. Returning after a week in the tropics, leaving behind a guy who looked like a Hemsworth brother and quoted physics, was devastating. My apartment was cold. My plants were half dead. My inbox had 400 unread emails. I waited for the fade. I expected it. The texts would be frequent for the first week, then slow down. Then they would become one-word answers. Then, the ghosting. But Caleb didn't follow the script. He didn't text. Wide. At 2 a.m., he sent me emails. Long, rambling emails about his research, about the weird tourists he served, about articles he read that reminded him of our arguments. A subject. regarding the efficiency of hermit crabs. Harper, I was observing the tidal pool today and realized hermit crabs are the ultimate supply chain managers. They optimize housing inventory with zero waste. You'd love them. Miss you. See, I found myself rushing home to read them. I replied with updates on the ergonomic chair crisis. We FaceTimed on Sundays. It was awkward at first. He would be sunburnt and shirtless. I would be in flannel pajamas with a face mask on. You look like a serial killer, he told me once. It's hydration, I said. You look like a lobster. I missed sunscreen on my nose, he admitted. You would have reminded me. I would have applied it for you with a precise layering technique, I said. We laughed. But there were hard days. There were days when I had a terrible meeting and just wanted a hug, and the screen felt like a prison wall. There were nights he was out at a bonfire with beautiful surfer girls, and my insecurity flared up like a rash. This is stupid, I told him one night in April. I had had 2 glasses of wine. Caleb, what are we doing? You're in Costa Rica. Then you're going to San Diego. I'm in Boston. We are pen pals with sexual tension. It's not sustainable. I'm defending my thesis in June, he said. The connection was glitchy. His face froze, then moved again. After that, I have to look for a job. A real job, lab work. Conservation, okay. There are labs in Boston, he said. I froze, Caleb. Don't what? Look for jobs in a city that has major research universities and a massive coastline. It's a logical career move, Harper. You hate the cold, I reminded him. You hate coats. You own 1 pair of closed-toe shoes. I can buy boots, he said. I'm checking the job boards, Harper. I'm just saying, the variable might change. I didn't let myself hope. Hope was a risk. I told him to do what was best for his career. I was practical. I was supportive. I was terrified. June came. He defended his thesis. He passed with distinction. Then, he flew to Boston. He didn't move in. I wouldn't let him. That was too fast, too reckless. He crashed on his cousin's couch in Somerville. We met for dinner at a neutral location. A burger place in Fenway. Seeing him in clothes, real clothes, jeans and a button down, was jarring. He looked smaller without the ocean behind him. He looked tired. Hi, he said. Hi, I said. We hugged. It was stiff. The chemistry that had sizzled in the tropics felt dampened by the humidity and the noise of the city. We sat down. We talked about the flight. We talked about the weather. It was polite. It was terrible. I went to the bathroom and hyperventilated. A C, my brain screamed. It was a vacation fling. It doesn't translate. He's a fish out of water. You are a workaholic. This is a mistake. I went back to the table. Caleb was looking at the menu with a frown. What's wrong? I asked. They charge $2 for avocado, he said. That is criminal markup. Welcome to Boston, I said. He looked up at me. I miss the taco truck. Me too. I miss the version of us that didn't feel like we were on a job interview, he said bluntly. I exhaled. Thank God. Me too. This is weird, right? It's super weird, he agreed. I feel like I have to impress you. Do I have to impress you? No, I said, reaching across the table to take his hand. You just have to be the guy who knows hermit crabs are supply chain managers. He squeezed my hand. I can do that. Caleb got a job. It wasn't a glamorous research position. It was a junior analyst role at the New England Aquarium. It paid peanuts. He moved into a crappy apartment in Alston with 2 roommates who played video games until 4 a.m. We started dating. Real dating. Not sunset walks. Dating. Subway delays and grocery shopping. Dating. It wasn't a fairy tale. It was hard work. Caleb hated the winter. He got seasonal affective disorder. He became grumpy and withdrawn when the sun went down at 4:30 p.m. I bought him a sad lamp and forced him to take vitamin D. "I am a plant," he grumbled, sitting in front of the light box. "I am wilting." "You are a human male living in the northern hemisphere," I corrected. "Adapt." I, in turn, was difficult. My job got stressful. I worked late. I brought my stress home and organized it into piles. I snapped at him when he left his wet towels on the bed. "It's water," he would say. "It dries. It causes mildew." I would shriek. "Mildew is a fungus, Caleb. You're a biologist. Respect the fungus." We fought. We fought about money. He was free with it. I was a misery. We fought about time. We fought about the fact that he wanted to go camping every weekend, and I wanted to stay inside and not sleep on the ground. 6 months in, we almost broke up. It was a Tuesday. It was raining. We were at my place. He had forgotten to tell me he was working a late shift, and I had made a roast chicken that was now dry. "I don't know if this works," I said, standing in my kitchen, staring at the shriveled bird. "We're too different, Caleb. You're trying to turn Boston into Costa Rica, and I'm trying to turn you into me." Caleb sat at my kitchen island. He looked exhausted. He was wearing a thick wool sweater that I had bought him. "I'm not trying to turn Boston into Costa Rica," he said quietly. "I'm just trying to find a way to be happy here. It's hard, Harper." "Then go back," I said, tears pricking my eyes. "Go back to San Diego. Go back to the sun. Stop making yourself miserable for me. It's not logical." "I don't want to go back," he said. He stood up and walked around the island. "Because you aren't there." "I'm not fun here," I cried. "I'm tired and I'm naggy and I worry about the mortgage." "I don't need you to be fun," Caleb said. He grabbed my shoulders. "I need you to be real. And this crappy Tuesday with the dry chicken. This is real. I love you, Harper. Not the vacation version. I love the version that yells about mildew." I looked at him. He looked ridiculous in the sweater. He looked like home. "The chicken is inedible," I sobbed. "We'll order pizza," he said, "and we'll watch a documentary about supply chains." "Your choice," I laughed. It was a watery, ugly sound. Okay. 3 years later. I am standing on the balcony of our apartment. We moved in together last year. It's a compromise apartment. It has a spreadsheet-approved budget, me. But it has a massive balcony for plants, Sahim. It's summer in Boston. The humidity is rising, but there's a breeze. Caleb walks out. He's holding 2 beers. He's cut his hair shorter, and he wears glasses now for reading, which makes him look less like a surf bum and more like the head of conservation data he just got promoted to be. "Happy anniversary," he says, handing me a beer. "Which one is this?" I ask. "The gourmet anniversary, the you moved here anniversary, or the we didn't break up over the roast chicken anniversary?" "The we met anniversary," he says. 4 years ago today, Tamarindo. I take a sip of the beer. "God. We were tan," he reminisces. "I miss the tan. We'll go back in December." I remind him. "It's on the calendar. Row 4, column C." "I know." He smiles. He leans against the railing next to me. I look at him. The happily ever after didn't happen. The happily right now happened. It isn't perfect. He still leaves wet towels on the bed sometimes, though he tries harder. I still overwork, though he reminds me to close the laptop. We have debt. We have family drama. We have days where we are just roommates passing in the hallway. But there is a joy in the reality of it. It's not the adrenaline rush of a vacation fling. It's a quiet, sturdy joy. It's the joy of knowing exactly who the other person is. Flaws, anxieties, fungi, obsessions, and all. And choosing them anyway. What are you thinking about? Caleb asks, nudging my shoulder. I'm thinking about the data, I say, and the probability of us working out was statistically insignificant, I say. We beat the house. Caleb kisses my temple. Sometimes, Harper, you have to ignore the odds and just catch the wave. That was a terrible surf metaphor. I groan. I know, he grins. But it worked. I lean into him. The city noise is loud below us. Sirens, cars, people shouting. It's not the ocean. It's not peaceful. But it's ours. Yeah, I say, closing my eyes. It worked.